Hey, so I'm in what I love to call my mobile office, and I have been thinking about an experience that I had recently. My partner, he graduated from Bard College, and we had to drive from Brooklyn to upstate, and it's about a 2.5 hour drive. And his family was coming, and we decided we're all gonna take one car. So because my truck holds 7 people, we're like, why not drive the truck? 2 weeks prior, and I have to make this mention, 2 weeks prior, my car was, acting a little strange, and I needed some work done. So I got my alternator fixed, and it was still giving me hesitation, but it started to work fine. I didn't see the check engine light anymore. But in the 2 weeks prior, I verbally said to him, I think I'm gonna rent a car the day of graduation, so that way if my car, it's such a long drive for it to act funky. I don't really want that to happen. And leading up to it that week, maybe like the Thursday, I tried to book some cars, but it was also Memorial Day weekend, so everything was sold out. All right, so day of graduation, everything's pushing fine. We pick up every person that was scheduled to go from his family. So now we're along. We're maybe like 2 hours and 15 minutes away, and when we get on the highway, the car starts to do what it was doing before I got it fixed. And I'm like, we look at each other. I'm in the passenger seat, he's in the driver's seat, and we look at each other, and I'm like, I don't know if we gonna make it there with this car. So I said, you know what, go to the airport. Let's go by LaGuardia Airport and see if they had any rentals available. We go to LaGuardia, sold out all the car rental places because it's Memorial Day weekend. So now I'm like, all right. So because I have a chauffeuring company and I have close relationships with other drivers, the Lord spoke to me and said, call Daniel. Ooh, his name prophetic. Okay. So I called Daniel and I said, hey, what's going on? Are you on the road today? He's like, yeah, I'm doing Uber. I'm like, are you busy right now? I have an emergency and I would like to hire you to take me and my family upstate. He says, okay, no problem. I said, where are you? He said he's in the city. We pick a meeting place and we go to meet at the location. So we park my car. It's making a huge loud fanning noise, and I'm gonna insert it in the video. A huge loud fanning noise. The check engine light comes on, so it's just like, we're not gonna risk having the entire family and just our safety, because it was supposed to rain that day, with this vehicle, because we don't want to be loud. All right, so cool. So Daniel comes, we transfer vehicles. He has the same exact vehicle as mine, so we just transfer over. Family was fine about it. They were just like, if y'all know what y'all doing, then y'all know what y'all doing. In my mind, I'm like, we're going to celebrate your graduation. And I could see like a little bit of panic and unease in my partner. He was just like, I knew he was ready to be like, yeah, we're not going, because he couldn't really see a different outcome of how we were gonna get there, because we already went to the airport's locations, and we couldn't get a car. Everything was sold out. So we're driving, Daniel's driving, and this downpour of rain, downpour of rain, to the point where they had to push back the graduation about an hour. So it gave us lead time, because all of that transferring took away from our time to get there, for my partner to receive his cap and gown and everything, all of the credentials to be able to walk. So luckily he has 2 amazing siblings that live closer, so they were meeting us there, so they were able to check in for him, pick up his stuff, and find us seats as well, and get the wristbands. So God so had it that everything was positioned in place appropriately. And so we get there now, and Daniel has to drop us off. because if we had to, this is how God works. If we had to park, if we had to park, we would have had to walk through the campus, and the campus was literally like Hogwarts for Harry Potter. Like, it was expansive. And so I just felt like, yo, if we had to drive, it would have been stress at that moment. And then to see the line that folks were standing in, imagining the rain downpour that happens, and they had to, it would have been a mess. It would have been a mess for us. And so we were able to link up with our other family members, get his stuff. He was able to get in line and march, and we celebrated. I'll plug that in as well. We celebrated, and we had our seats. Everything flowed. And then right after we walked, because we still had engagements to do after, so we needed to get back to the city, and the commute was already lengthy, and we were paying for Daniel's time. So after he walked, we stayed for the rest of his classmates to walk across the stage, and we dipped. And it was a lovely event. It was solidifying his experience. He was formerly incarcerated, and he received his degree in prison, but it was at the same time as the pandemic, so he never got a chance to walk across the stage. So this 2 years later was his time to be able to walk across the stage, and we were not gonna miss that. Like, if I had anything to do with it, we were not gonna miss that, okay? And so we drive back down. Daniel gets us back to my car, and it was such a seamless transition. When we were leaving the graduation, he was able to pick us right up where we got dropped off. We didn't have to do too much, and we were with his elders, like his aunties, his dad, his uncle, and so we didn't want them to walk too far. And I had on some heels. It was outside, you know. But it all worked out. And so Daniel, you know, he and I discussed what his rate was going to be. And to me, when you have to make a decision, the cost is the cost. It's not even about negotiating and whatnot. So it was a hefty price, you know, but I'm in the same industry, so I can't even argue, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciated just being able to show up in that moment for us. And it was a powerful revelation for me, because we were not meant to drive. And sometimes you don't have to be in control all the time. And God was literally telling us, no, y'all need to sit down and chill and relax and enjoy the moment. Not be distracted by parking and the headache and all of that stuff. This is a moment that we literally, as a family, as a support system for Enroy, we needed to just all be at ease. And to have somebody be a driver for us, that was absolutely necessary for our spirit. Here is the kicker, though. When we get back and we switch back cars, because we switched at the location that we met, my car was fine. The light came off. It was driving fine to this day. And it's been about 2 weeks now. It's still going like nothing happened. And I cannot get mad. I cannot get mad at how much we paid. I cannot get mad at the journey that day. I cannot get upset, because at the end of the day, I understand that it's God's protection. I understand that it's about surrendering. I understand that sometimes God will disrupt what you thought was a great idea to give you exactly what you need. And I'm grateful. I think we are all grateful. And it was just a powerful moment to remind me that you don't have to be the driver all the time. God is our driver. And if we actually include him in the process, because imagine if we went into the planning for showing up to graduation with that idea in mind and pre-planning, it would have been a seamless transition into getting there and getting back. And you think sometimes about God, like he will scoop you in and save you. But what if we include him in the process from the beginning? We eliminate so much in and out business because we're able to we eliminate so much in and out because we included him in our decision-making process and our execution process. So I just wanted to remind somebody, okay, that you don't have to be in control because God is in control. And I'm very excited about this journey because I realize it's not just about me. It includes me. The messages that I have been downloading are for me and it's for someone else. And I live my life like that. And I think it would be a disservice to the life that I'm living right now to not be obedient in even the messaging that comes across my mind and the perspective shifts that happen and not being able to share it on a grand scale. And I'll close with this. Anytime I find someone new on social media, I always kind of like binge whatever they have going on. And so I know this video may not be seen right now, this moment, but somewhere along the journey, somebody's going to come back to this video. I'm going to come back to this video, whether it's a couple years from now, maybe a couple weeks from now, who knows? But the fact that I'm obedient in this moment, in this process, in this journey, I'm grateful for where God is going to lead this ministry, because I do believe my life is a ministry. And so thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time.